Hey guys, it's BJaws, and we just got a huge Halo Infinite update, which is really exciting. So the Halo Infinite community has been dying for some Halo Infinite news, and we finally got some. So some of the information they released was on the campaign, on the multiplayer, on the armor coatings, and also on the future of Halo Infinite. We're going to dive into all of these things a little bit, as much as we can with the information they gave us. So let's get started. So this update is from Joseph Staten, who worked on the OG Halos back in the day. So he worked on all the Halos except for Halo 4 and Halo 5, and he came back in the summer to work on Halo Infinite for 343 Industries, which is, I think, a really smart move because I think it's really going to help Halo Infinite and Halo in the future. We are already seeing some awesome results from Joseph Staten joining back to Halo again at 343 Industries, and we're going to get into a few of those right now. So first and foremost, Halo Infinite will be released in the fall of 2021. Now this may seem like a long time from now, but we're getting into 2021 really soon, and we've already been waiting 5 years for this game, so why not wait a little bit longer? It's not going to kill us. If we just have a little more patience, then the game will be amazing. They'll have more time to do it, and we'll all be happy Halo players once again. I really hope the extra time will give them everything they need to make this game as best as it can be, to make it a complete game when it's on launch, and just to integrate all the feedback from the Halo community into Halo Infinite to make it the best it ever can be and one of the greatest Halo games of all time. I'm really excited for this game. So first off, they did talk a little bit about the campaign for Halo Infinite. So what they said is ever since they released that demo back in the summer, they've been working on certain things to improve the campaign. So they've been working on things like lighting to fog, to wear and tear on Spartan armor. So they've been working on the art and visuals of the campaign ever since they released the demo back in July, I believe it was. And they even said themselves that it was not up to par of what they wanted it to be when they released the demo, and not up to par for Halo standards at all. After they released that demo as well, they received a lot of feedback from the community, and they said they listened to a lot of the feedback, and they're implementing that into the campaign to make it visually as good as it can be, and just to listen to more players for the Halo community. Also with the campaign, Joseph Staten did say that he played the campaign twice when he joined 343 Industries. In his own words, he said he was stunned in the best possible way by what the team had done. He said Halo Infinite is the most expansive and vertical Halo world ever created. He was wondering why 343 Industries decided to go this route, and he's understood that it was because the wonder and freedom are key to the Halo experience. He also stated that he could feel the classic Halo 30 seconds of fun beating at the heart of Halo Infinite's world, but he never felt more powerful, more mobile, more in command of a rich set of tactical choices. And he said this was the Halo we imagined back in 2000 finally come to life after 20 years of technical and creative innovation. He also described Zeta Halo a little bit, and he said Zeta Halo is the most mysterious, dangerous, and possibility-rich place in the entire Halo universe, where everywhere he looked, he saw choices. What does he mean by those choices? So what he means is, he says, do I explore off the Golden Path? Do I assault that banished warbase guarding the Valley Pass? Do I follow a flight of Forerunner Sentinels into that unexpected cavern? Do I rescue a squad of Marines dug in and desperate halfway up that mountain? Or do I keep pulling the mainline story thread that feels epic and intimate at the exact same time? So based off of those statements, it sounds like the world is going to be amazing and immersive. You're going to be able to choose many different ways that you want to go. Lots of side missions, or you can focus on the main mission. But it sounds like Halo Infinite is going to have a lot to offer for a lot of different players that want to enjoy the game in many different ways. And to me, if those statements are accurate, which I'm sure they are, it makes me really excited to want to explore the game even more. So I can also see why he would play it multiple times, just to get more of understanding of the Halo universe in every different aspect that you can with the main mission or side quests or whatever it might be, saving Marines, attacking Banished, like he said. So it makes me really excited to actually play the game and try these different areas out. They also released a campaign concept art photo of Halo Infinite, and I gotta say, it looks visually stunning. In this photo, you can see Halo in the distance, which is the classic image of the Halo ring going on in the distance in the background. But you can also see a lot of those Forerunner honeycomb structures that we saw in the demo originally. And you can also see the Forerunner technology, the blue beam of light in the middle kind of there. And I just think it looks amazing. The environment itself looks amazing. It looks like an area that you're curious about and you just want to go explore, see what the Forerunner technology has to offer, what might be going on there, have the Banished taking control or the Sentinels there, what might be going on. But also, you can also look at the horizon and in the distance of the awesome sunset or sunrise or whatever that might be, and just enjoy the vast environment of the Zeta Halo. So I think it looks awesome, and this is just concept art, so hopefully we can see some more images of this, but I'm really excited to play the campaign. That's basically all information they gave us on the Halo Infinite campaign so far, and I'm really eager to learn more about this, and I cannot wait till we see more pictures, hopefully some actual gameplay of it as well. and I'm just super excited for this game to be released. They also talked about the art style and the graphics of Halo Infinite. They said that they managed to find a balance of modernized visuals combined with a classic aesthetic that will definitely speak to all, and we couldn't be more proud of this. They do also kind of describe how they came to this conclusion for this art style and graphics. They say some of the key areas of progress include better quality of global illumination, ambient occlusion, shadows, volumetric lighting, sky, and atmosphere. And they also address issues with their GPU-driven rendering and texture streaming solution that should mitigate the LOD, popping, and texture quality issues that were prevalent in the July demo. They also made a lot of improvements on the art, content side across all disciplines such as environment, lighting, weapons, FX, and more. They've also retuned the dynamic lighting values to add more punch and contrast to the images. They include the adjustments to the sun intensity, fog atmosphere, and the addition of color grading, which did not make it into the July gameplay demo. More specular response, more wear and tear in weapons and vehicles, more fidelity in our characters, and more macro breakup on large surfaces like rocks, terrain, and the hex walls. They also have more of the textural detail coming through to the final frame thanks to a sharpening process, which helped offset some of the natural blurring of temporal anti-aliasing, and it certainly helps the assets shine. So it sounds like to me what they're trying to do is crisp things up a lot, get a lot of those textures out in the weapons, the wear and tear of the vehicles, the armor, all that amazing quality of the visuals that you can see in the game. And it sounds really good to me, in my opinion. So if they can improve the lighting of it as well, the contrast, the sharpness of the images on the armor and the vehicles, I think that it's going to look amazing. And I can't wait till we actually see some gameplay of this when this is all said and done, to actually determine how this game will look in the end. And based on what they described there, though, I think it's the right direction. I think it's going to really improve the game. I'm sure it's going to be a lot different than what we see in the demo that we saw in the demo in July. And, people are not going to be happy with everything, but I think a lot of people will probably enjoy the improved style of the art and the graphics for it. And I got to say that ever since they released the demo, though, I thought that it would still look like Halo. I still really enjoyed it. Could they clean some things up? Yes, of course they could. But all in all, I still really enjoyed it. But it sounds like they're really improving even that much more, and it's going to be visually stunning. Of course, you can't talk about the art style and the graphics without talking about Craig. So Craig is the famous meme of the Brute that was at a still frame where we could see his face, and it didn't look too good visually, and a lot of people made fun of it. And of course, it became this huge thing where a lot of people put him in different pictures and all this good stuff, and it just became viral because of the way he looked. But they did also mention things about him and what they changed. So what they said is that the facial animation on NPCs was not fully implemented in the demo build, which resulted in Craig's incredibly deadpan, lifeless look. So that's why he looks so weird in that still frame. They also said that all characters are modeled in a neutral pose prior to blend shapes and animation being applied. So Craig was never intended to be seen in that condition, which is not something that was evident during the gameplay. They said they've done further work on the material fidelity and more variety added for Brute faces. They're also working to add some hairdos and beards, which was something they hadn't gotten to in July. And so they said while we have come to love our dear old Craig, he's certainly undergoing a significant makeover. So it sounds like we're going to see a lot of these Brutes with different hairdos and facial expressions and facial hair. And I think that's going to be amazing. If they left Craig as is, I think that would also be amazing because they could feed on that meme even more. And I think it'd be really fun if they implemented that in there. But nonetheless, they're going to improve the game no matter what. So if Craig gets improved, it's still going to be great. And it's still going to be visually stunning, I'm sure. Let's move on now to some weapons in Halo Infinite that they released some pictures of. So they didn't really talk about these at all, but they did release some images. So here is an image of the M41 Spunker rocket launcher. So in this image, I gotta say, it looks absolutely amazing. I really like the background in this image as well. I think that you have the Spartan, or you have Chief, whoever that may be, looking in the background at the rocket launcher. It's on this virtual display underneath it, and it's really just showing in the center. It's in the center of all this, of the room, and the center of everything in this picture, and it's just really portraying that rocket launcher as an amazing weapon, and really detailing it, I think. So I think the way this picture portrays it, it looks really amazing. And like I said, what really makes it is the background in this image, because you have the warthogs lined up. So it's kind of like you're at the vehicle bay or your armory, and you're trying to get the weapons. You're trying to select the best weapon for the job. Spartan's looking at what he can do to take out the Covenant or the Forerunner. He's picking that rocket launcher, going to blow him to pieces. And I just think that this picture does a really good job of showing some of that detail of the rocket launcher and just how beautiful it is. And I think it looks amazing, and I can't wait to try it. Now, we also do have the sniper rifle. This is the S7 sniper rifle. So this also looks just as good as the rocket launcher picture. Same kind of background where you got the Warthogs lined up there, the vehicles, also the Spartan in the background. And the same thing where it's at the center of the room on that virtual base of whatever it might be, just portraying that sniper rifle in the middle of it. And it just really, really shows that sniper rifle. You can also see some of that wear and tear in it as well. And it just looks like a Spartan sniper rifle that you would expect in Halo. So I can't wait to use this sniper rifle and pick off those jackals that try to snipe us as well. So it's going to be fun, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing some more images of the weapons that are coming out in Halo Infinite. So they did also touch on the armor coatings to expect in Halo Infinite. Of course, this has created some controversy in the Halo community where people aren't quite sure what to expect, or it didn't sound as good as they thought it would. But I think they cleared some of that up in this update that they brought us. And to me personally, I think it sounds okay. I think it sounds good, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it provides for Spartan customization. And I think maybe it'll implement something new into Halo, and it could be a really good thing. So we've yet to see exactly how this whole thing works, but from what they gave us, I'm looking forward to it. So to start off, they said that because Halo Infinite is going to have free-to-play multiplayer, there will be some premium cosmetics players can get. I'm assuming you can purchase these with real money, but they did not say anything about real money yet. But I'm assuming you can if you want to. So that's going to be interesting. I'm not a huge fan of spending money on games like that. But if it's going to be a free-to-play multiplayer, you're spending $60 usually on a game to play the multiplayer. But if it's going to be free, then I guess you could spend that $60 on the free multiplayer to get those cosmetics and support the game that way. So it's kind of a trade-off which way you want to look at it. But nonetheless, you might be paying for some premium cosmetics in Halo Infinite if you really want those. But with that, they said players can also obtain tons of customization content through things like playing the campaign, challenges, skill, special events, legacy rewards. So this includes the Halo 5 SR 152 levels. So if you got to that level in Halo 5, you will be rewarded in Halo Infinite. And we will see that later on, where we will get rewarded with the Watchdog's armor coating. Now, from what they said, it doesn't sound like that's all we're going to get if we reach 152 in Halo 5, but I'm not entirely sure what that means. We might get more. So hopefully they do reward those players that spent all that time trying to get to 152 in Halo 5, because it certainly took a very, very, very long time to get that in Halo 5. They also mentioned they believe providing value isn't exclusive to monetary transactions. It's also about making sure that you're properly rewarded for the time you're invested into the game. They said players that play for free will be able to unlock items across a multitude of different customization types to allow them to represent themselves in the game. So even if you just got the free-to-play multiplayer and that's all you ever want to do with this game, it sounds like you're still going to be able to customize your Spartan pretty dang well and unlock a lot of things. So I think that's really, really good. And I think a lot of people will still enjoy that, because not everybody wants to spend money in the game. Not everybody can. So this still allows people to enjoy the game and also customize their Spartan as they will. So they said with the armor coating system, it allows them to define the color, wear and tear, patterns, and materials on a region-by-region basis on the Spartan, or anything in the game, be it armor, weapons, vehicles, or even environment elements like fuel barrels. So this is very interesting to me, because it sounds like they're going to be implementing it more into the game than just the Halo armor customizations that you can do with your Spartan. You can also do vehicles, you can also do weapons, fuel barrels, and who knows what else you can do implement those coatings on. We have yet to see. I'm sure they'll give us more details on that in the future, but it sounds like you'll be able to customize quite a few things in Halo Infinite. With that being said, they're saying that the customization is going to be kind of similar to Halo Reach in an aspect where you can do quite a different customizations for certain areas of your Spartan. So if you remember, Halo Reach had like the helmet, the shoulder pads, the arms, the legs, the chest. So quite a few different areas you can do on the Spartan. So it sounds like they're implementing some of that into Halo Infinite, which I think is really good, because a lot of people did enjoy the Halo Reach customization. And if they implement that back, but expand upon it, I think it's going to be really good. A lot of people will probably really like it. They also mentioned that coatings use smaller digital footprints and allows them to add new ones to the game without massive patches or taking up tons of disk space. So that is going to be amazing, because who wants to implement a patch to their game? Who knows what the patches would be like. Usually they're like 20 to 40 gigs in these games that we have now on the Xbox One, Xbox Series X. They're huge and they take up too much space. So if they can implement that at a much smaller scale, I think that will certainly help, and people will not want to, download the 50 gigabyte update, but they'll just be able to start the game, update just a small little bit of it, and be able to play right away without taking up their entire storage on their hard drive. Now, they did release some images of some of the armor coatings that we can expect in Halo Infinite. So one of those images is called the Watchdog armor coating. Now, this is the armor and weapon coating that you're going to get from Halo 5 if you get to SR-152 in that game. So you can see here, it's kind of like that chrome reddish pattern on the Spartan. You can see there's different areas where he has red in some of his arm and also some of his chest and his waist. I don't see a lot on the legs at the moment in this picture, in the first picture, but he also has it around his neck and his shoulders. But of course, he has it around the weapon as well. So we're going to be able to use this armor coating on our weapons and also on our armor, possibly vehicles as well. I'm not sure how far this Watchdog armor goes, but at least we can implement it in our Spartan and also in our weapon. So if you want your weapon to look the same as your armor or vice versa, then you can do that, it looks like, in Halo Infinite, which I think is really cool. Here's another image of that Watchdog armor, but this time the Spartan has the red visor, and I think that kind of matches it more than the previous one, which had kind of like a golden visor, which still looked awesome, but I think this one is really a nice looking outfit. It's really clean, and I really like it. The next one that we have is going to be the Scorpion Punch armor, and this one's got some orange in there. It looks like he's only got it on his helmet and on his right arm, so it doesn't quite match his left arm, but that's the only orange that's in there, and it looks like he might have that on his weapon as well, but I'm not too sure. And it looks really cool. I like it. It's kind of like that steely look. It's not as vibrant as the other one. It's more of a dull color, but nonetheless, I still think it looks really good, and that visor matches it pretty well as well. Then we got the Noble Defender armor coating, and this one's kind of more your classic green Spartan color with some red mix in there, and I really like it. It looks like more of like that rugged kind of look, and you can see some of that wear and tear on the armor, and you can just see going through these photos the different armor customizations that you can do. So you can, if you just look at their arms, the shoulders, their chest, their wrists, all that stuff, their knee pads, you can see the differences in these different armors. So if you have a chance to take a look at all these pictures closely, you'll definitely be able to see that, and I think it's going to be amazing. It definitely reminds me of Halo Reach, and I also got to say that some of these Spartan armors and Spartans, they kind of look to me like a blend of Halo 4 and Halo Reach in there, which I'm okay with because I enjoyed both of them. Then we have the Splinter Desert armor coating, and obviously this one's going to be more of like that camouflage kind of coating, and you can definitely see that pattern in this armor, and it looks really neat. I like it a lot, especially with that green visor. I think that green visor really stands out with this armor coating, and I'm not sure if the visors are part of the armor coating. I have no idea. I'm assuming they're not. I'm assuming that's something you can do individually, or maybe there's a standard and you can just switch it up if you wanted to. But nonetheless, I still think it looks really, really good, and I like that. I like this pose as well that he's pointing. I think it looks really cool and makes him look like he's ready for battle. He's pointing somebody out to take him out, and it just looks really, really nice. So that's about all that they released for us for the armor coatings so far. So we learned a little bit more about them, but I still have some questions on exactly what to expect or how customizable these things will be. But it sounds like there's gonna be a lot of opportunities to customize your Spartans with these. And from what I'm reading from this update, I gotta say that it sounds really cool. It sounds like they're implementing some of the old styles of the older Halos, but at the same time, they're also implementing something brand new, which I think is good. I think it's healthy, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it provides for Halo Infinite. Now, they didn't talk a whole lot about the multiplayer, but they did release some images that we can see for some work in progress of a map. It looks like it's a space map. Now, when I first saw this image, I gotta say that it kind of reminded me of Riptide from Halo 5, just kind of design layout of it. It looks like it has some kind of those similar structures, but it's a little bit different at the same time, if that makes any sense. That's kind of what it reminded me most of, but it's got its own kind of look to it, own kind of feel to it as well, which is fine. I didn't mind Riptide. I thought it was okay. I thought it was kind of small, but nonetheless, it still looked okay. And I gotta say that though, this one looks even better, and I really like space maps as well. So I think that, this is gonna be even better than some kind of Halo 5 map like Riptide, but we have yet to see. And if you also notice in this first picture that they gave us, there's also like a power-up down in the middle. It looks like some kind of helmet. So I don't know exactly what that is or what that means, but it could be something brand new to Halo Infinite. And I'm really curious to find out what it might be. And I'm really, really want to try it out right now. But also in the distance, you can see that there's also another power-up for an assault rifle, looks like, in the background. It's shining blue there. So it looks like that's how maybe you pick up weapons as well. Obviously, this is a work in progress, so this could change between now and when the game releases. But it makes me very curious as to what these are and how they're going to play, or how you're going to use them in multiplayer. So kind of interesting to look at. And again, it could change, but right now it's kind of fun to see exactly what they're trying to implement. They released a second image of the same space map, and you can see here that there's two Spartans going at it. Looks like one is about to jump off the ledge while the other one's standing on a bridge trying to take him down. But to me, I think this one really points out the cleaner lines of sights. So it looks like we have a few bridges going on that you can walk through, and that's going to be where the clean lines of sights are. But at the same time, you have areas where you can go into and hide. And also, it looks like you can venture up and maybe climb up to another level where the Spartan is jumping off. Also in the background, you can see there's another level up top where you can maybe climb up there and access a new area of the map. So it looks like there's going to be different elements of this map. Maybe you can go underneath the bridge as well. I'm not sure. But to me, it's got a lot of different aspects in there. I'm assuming maybe also that thing in the background that is kind of on the floor, not the crate on the left side, but the one kind of more in the center on the floor with the yellow and the lights, the kind of like the lightning coming out of it. Perhaps that moves up and down during the map. So that's going to play, some kind of different aspect of the map as well while you're playing it. So it just looks like multiple areas, but there's some areas where you can hide, but also clean areas of sight. So far, I think it looks really good, and it looks like Halo. That's about the gist of what they released for the multiplayer aspect of it so far. I'm really hoping they release more information on the multiplayer aspect, because that's what I'm really looking forward to. Of course, the campaign is going to be amazing. I really want to play that. But the multiplayer is really what's going to keep the game going on for a very long time as well, and engage a lot of players. So I'm really curious to see what they're going to implement for this game, and I can't wait to find out more. And lastly, I just want to throw some things in there that they mentioned. They said there will be limited time events. So that sounds interesting. They did also say that can include things like no loot boxes, either through engagement or any premium route. And they're not selling power or giving an unfair advantage in-game via any route. So I like that wording that they gave us, because I do not want loot boxes in Halo Infinite. I'm sure there will be other ways to purchase in-game content, just as there is in any kind of game to support it. But loot boxes, I'm glad that those are not going to be in it. And who knows what they're going to implement. Could be even worse than loot boxes. You never know. I'm thinking that it's not going to be, because they probably know all about loot boxes and how people don't like them. But only time will tell what they implement, and I'm really curious to see what it will be. With that, they said most of all they want to bring the best set of cosmetic-only rewards to Halo, which is also really good to hear, because I don't want to have to grind to unlock a new weapon. I want to have to grind to unlock a new armor customization so that I can show them off while it's fair for all the players of Halo. So that's basically it for all the Halo Infinite information they gave us right now. So they released some images that we can dive into for more detail and more curiosity of what the game's going to be like to explore. And I'm really going to look at those a little bit more, because I really enjoyed those images they gave us, and I'm glad they gave us something to actually look at, to actually grasp, to hold on to, because for the longest time we had absolutely nothing, and there's just a lot of rumors going on. And finally 343 put some of those away, and we have some actual images that we can see for Halo Infinite. They also talked about some of the armor coatings and some of what to expect in the future for this game. It sounds like they're really trying to support this game post-launch of the release date, which I think is going to be really good. If they can support it for a long time and keep those players coming back, it's going to be amazing. So based off of what I read from the update today, I got to say that I'm even more excited for Halo Infinite, and I just want to play it even that much more. Unfortunately, it's not going to come out until fall 2021, so we still have to wait a little bit while. But it sounds like they're going in the right direction. They've been working really hard to make it go in the right direction, to bring Halo back to what it used to be, but also implement new things that will make Halo great once again. So I think 343 is heading in the right direction. I'm excited for what I hear, and I'm excited for the future of Halo. I think once Halo Infinite comes out, it's going to be an amazing game, and I think a lot of people will come back to Halo if they left it. And I think a lot of people, new players, will also come into Halo from Halo Infinite, and it's just going to be amazing, and I'm really, really looking forward to what they provide for us in the coming months for updates on this game. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I always do appreciate it, and I would love to hear from you guys of what you think about all these images, all this information we got. Please do let me know. I'd love to know what the Halo community thinks about all this. That'd be great if you could let me know down in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next video. See ya.